It's the final volleyball game at the Hawks Nest for the 2019-2020 season. The last stop before the OCAA Final 8. A look there at Humber's 6 provincial championships and their 2012 national championship. The Humber men's team looks to continue their perfect season in a crossover match with the Centennial Colts. I'm Andrew Belletti alongside the academic Adam Lucier. Adam, Humber has the advantage in every statistical category over Centennial except for digs. This looks like a mismatch on paper, but for the Hawks, this isn't a matter of. Is it just a matter of letting the Centennial Colts getting into the first, not letting them get into it early on with that first set?
Yeah, you can't overestimate or really underestimate anybody when it comes into a playoff atmosphere, but if you're the Humber Hawks, you're coming into this one, 18 straight wins, you've only lost 2 sets, you're playing a team in the weaker East Division that went 5-13. Numbers don't lie. This should be the Humber Hawks game. This should be an opportunity to find momentum. But don't overlook the Colts just yet. We'll see how they come out in set 1.
Yeah, look there at the OCAA men's volleyball standings. The 16 teams that get to play in those crossover matches in Humber, definitely a big advantage there over Centennial. Humber only dropping 2 sets all season, not dropping a set since November 23rd at Conestoga. All the cards are going in the Humber Hawks' favor. It looks like should be a big one here, a chance to go back to that OCAA championship. They fell out just short these last 2 years. We all remember last year losing a tough 5-set match to Fanshawe.
Yeah, that game against Fanshawe, some of the best we've ever seen. And you mentioned, Andrew, up and down the list, Humber's going to lead statistically. Obviously, Diggs with the ever so slight favor advantage of the Colts. But as you said, I mean, for the Colts, all you can do is really step into this Hawks Nest, take a big gulp and say, hey, let's see how this goes. They can play loose, they can play free. But, I mean, looking at those numbers, they're going up against a juggernaut here today.
Yeah, they'll definitely have a tough time here tonight. Humber, a 367 swing percentage or hitting percentage, however you want to frame it. They keep teams to just 12%, which is just unreal. Centennial going to have a tough time here this evening. Only 8 players dressed as opposed to Humber. They got the full lineup here tonight, and we know they got some big boys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about the size for these 2 teams. Not a single player on this Centennial Colts roster stands at over 6'3", and the Humber Hawks, they got a full 9 guys standing 6'3" and over. So the stat advantage is with the Hawks. The size advantage is with the Hawks. But hey, you got to take the court for a reason, right? You got to play this out. And for the Colts, play loose, play free, see what happens. But on paper, this one's reading all Humber.
Centennial looks pretty happy here. They're in pretty good spirits, trying to play spoiler here tonight against Humber, who's had that perfect 18-0 season. Mentioning they only dropped 2 sets all year. We got to see how things shake down in just a minute before we get ready for the player introductions and the national anthem here.
Yeah, this Humber crew is a confident group, and you really can't blame them coming into this one. Winners of 39 consecutive sets. I mean, that's insane. That's video game-like stuff. And we'll see who takes the floor today. Can't imagine it'll be the full starters all the way through, as I'm sure Wayne Wilkins wants to get some fresh legs, some fresh faces into this matchup to get them ready for, hopefully, more playoff action.
Yeah, you want to keep those depth guys set just in case they're needed for action, as provincials do or die time, really. You can't take any chances. We'll turn it over to Dwayne Bowles for the starting lineups.
The Centennial Colts actual Humber Hawks. At this time, we're going to ask you to please stand if you're able, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Look there at the teams shaking hands before we get this game started. Then in a bit, we'll have Dwayne Bowles with the starting lineups for each side, starting with the Centennial Colts.
It's a nice shot there. Just got to take in the amount of guys on either roster. I mean, Humber's having to do handshake overtime.
Yeah, much like the women's team earlier. Why not? You got to feel good about yourselves going into a do-or-die playoff matchup.
And now for the starting lineups, first for the visiting Centennial Colts. A 6'3" middle blocker out of Toronto, Ontario, number 9, Timothy Ho. A 6'2" left side of Etobicoke, Ontario, number 10, Dominic Bell. A 5'8" outside hitter of Markham, Ontario, number 15, Brendan Chubb. A 5'9" outside hitter of Vaughan, Ontario, number 16, Marvin Reed. A 6'1" middle in Toronto, Ontario, number 19, Jordan NNABUOGOR. A 6'1" center out of Toronto, Ontario, number 20, JAVED BAKSH. Your starting libero in Toronto, Ontario is number 4, Dylan Bautista. The head coach for the Centennial Colts is Adrian Beto.
No surprise for the Humpers starting lineup. The usual suspects starting off on the court.
Yeah, surprised to see the big guys taking the floor right away. It'll be interesting to see if their game does get a little out of hand, as many suspect does Wayne Wilkins. Start to feature more of those rotational players, but for the time being, you said it, it's the regulars.
Yeah, it's a play that Wayne Wilkins has not shied away from all year leading into that depth. He knows he's got it. JAVED BAKSH getting ready for the first serve. Controlled by Hawks, set up by Gomes. And a nice kill there, Rezart Sadiku.
What a season it's been for Rezart Sadiku, really coming in to a prime role, coming into this game, obviously so effective last year, but it's really stepped up his play, and him and Josh Vidari have been a two-headed beast all year for these Hawks.
And Sadiku, one of the most efficient players on that outside position as well. 38% on the swing. Big block by the Humber Hawks, but it just squeezes through them, and we're all tied at 1.
Didn't expect to see that. Vidari, Crowder, and Sadiku all lined up Nice on that block, had good timing, but it squeaks on through. Not something we see too often.
Reed getting ready to serve. That one just gets by Ferreira. Nice tip over the net there. That was Fedari. A big hit there by Brendan Chow, but over the block and over the entire field of play. Humber takes the lead back.
This Humber front court has really made their presence felt against the Colts here. That block forced to go way up and over the blocks and sailing that one long.
Rizar Tadiku getting his first chance from the service line. Curtailed here by the Colts. Chow, well, that's blocked once again. Play at the net there by Ferreira. Colts scrambling a bit. Chow can't get that one to flip it over. Humber takes the 3-1 lead.
Yeah, the Colts had to scramble off that block there, and once again, it's the size that we talked about for these Humber Hawks. Really showcase it here in the early going, just how much of an advantage that Humber has on the net.
Here comes Sadiku again. Reed moves back to play that. Chow will just throw it over. Crowder puts up, set up by Gomes for Ferreira. Just squeaks by, but Centennial still got it. Big play there, but out of bounds. Another point for Humber.
Still like the swing there coming from Brendan Chow, and that's something you're going to need if you're going to try to beat the block of this Humber front court. Maybe those shallow plays, those cross-court winners are what you need to look for. Centennial needs to make an adjustment early before this one gets out of hand.
Yeah, Chow looked pretty good in warm-up right now, having trouble getting over that Humber block. Set up by Gomes from Fedari, and what a play there.
Josh Fedari with some bounce. You can only bring it down on that kind of slope when you get nice and high up on the vertical. Fedari doing what he's done all year long.
Here comes Rezar Tadiku once again. We just saw that trademark chicken wing. The serve, that's a hot one. Set up by Centennial, just flipped over the net. Gomes got that. Kims will set it up for Silva Ferreira. A nice soft touch there for the point.
And Ferreira, that all goes down to court vision. Obviously that sets in the air, you're tracking it as it comes to you, but taking a quick peek towards that Centennial front court, seeing that block coming up early, and well timed on that floater as Centennial forced to take a timeout with this first set getting ugly.
Yeah, they wasted no time there. They saw this first set slipping away. We mentioned off the hop how Centennial really has to establish themselves early on if they want any hope of taking this game.
Yeah, this is kind of the game we expected as we take a look at some of the big points. Sadiku just dominant finding that back court. With positioning like that, it's going to be tough to beat. And Fedari on the far side, first-year player. I mean, we could go on and on about what he's contributed to this team in his first year, but strong start for the two guys that we expected strong starts from.
Yeah, Fedari, a first-year player who's handed a big opportunity here. You don't often see that, but he wasn't just handed it, he really earned that opportunity himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's coming off a career playing for the Canadian national youth team, which obviously brings an air of respect to his style of play, but that's exactly right. He came into Humber early on this year and has dominated from the get-go. I mean, he'll get my vote for the best rookie in the OCAA. Maybe not just volleyball, maybe across the entire varsity roster. He's just been phenomenal.
Team leader in kills per set in just over 3 points in 147, and points per set in 3.5. Here's Sadiku once again. Service controlled. There's Chow going for it. Can't get it over the net, though.
That set came out really wide there for Chow, and he's fighting the antenna. He's fighting the two blocks. He had to try to curve that one around to keep it in bounds, but really nowhere for him to go on that play.
Sadiku again, he's on a roll from that service line. Hot shot there, and there's a service ace.
Sadiku has unleashed a couple of line drives there. That one, absolute laser beam, tough to corral.
Marvin Reed, Centennial's best player, had no shot on that one. Just blew it by him. Sadiku again. Reed got to that one. Kept alive, just thrown back. Gomes has got it. Kim will set it up. Fedari. Centennial once again controls it. Thrown right back, but way long. Humber's on top by a comfortable margin here. It's 9-1.
Yeah, this one's getting ugly pretty quick here, and once again, it's Centennial just trying to beat that block. They got to hit that high scorcher, but it's just sailing long. That's going to happen time and time again.
Here's Sadiku. That one was just ready to paint the line, but Centennial got to that. Humber scrambling there, not able to return that, and Centennial is back on the board.
Still, though, nice effort by Gomes as he flashes a smile. Good hustle there getting to that one. Centennial getting on the board, but Humber looking pretty here early on.
Jordan NNABUOGOR getting his first chance to serve. The Toronto native. Sadiku gets to that. Gomes will set up for Silva Ferreira. Nice play there. Centennial's got it. Vidari just flips it up. Centennial scrambled there, could not get it back over the net. Another point for Humber.
And like that play by Fidari is right on top of the net there, just having that soft touch. Doesn't want to fire it too hard, send it out of bounds. Just be sure that that ball's getting down.
Maximum Crowder, the second-year player from Sudbury, getting ready to serve. Troldier set up. Nice job there. That was Chow with the kill.
Yeah, that's a big point there, especially with Andrew Blakey right in your face. He has 91 career blocks. So anytime you get a kill down on Blakey, that's a good day in the office.
Yeah, he got on top of that ball and put it right into the bodies of that Humber block. Gomes will set up again. That's Blakey. Violation there. Point will go to Humber.
Centennial knew a big swing was coming, trying to get right to that net, but just a little too eager that time, getting called for the violation.
They'll send Fidari to the service line. The first-year wonder. There's the serve, a hot shot. Returned right back. Kimmel set it up. Gomes for Blakey. Couldn't get the play he wanted on that one.
Oh, that would have been a pretty point. You see some communication between Blakey and Gomes. What went wrong on that play, but still like the idea. Blakey's a big dude, but so good in motion. Gomes could kind of have that back set and let Blakey run up under it.
Sadiku got to that one. Gomes just flipped it over. Centennial had that. Big block there. Flat off the net. Blakey loses that one, and a point for Centennial.
What a great job by the Colts there defensively. Gomes going over in two, kind of that backswing. We sure didn't see it coming from the broadcast booth, but Centennial able to recover, and once again, getting the better of the Hawks at the net.
Centennial looking pretty good after that timeout. Chow serve is good. That Gomes set up a little missed time, but Sadiku threw it over. And Centennial puts it right out of bounds and a point back for the Hawks.
Timothy Ho there once again, just trying to have that soft touch, that soft floater, but again, it's trending long. These hits are going to have to come a little bit more shallow if the Colts hope to score.
Here's a look at Eduardo Silva Ferreira. Serve is good. Set up here. Big play, that's blocked. Kim's going to get that one, sets it up for Fidari, gets that one through the block, and it's inbounds for the point.
That one just comes down to raw power, and Fidari has it in spades. Double team block was there, but able to power it right through.
But Silva Ferreira back on that line. Controlled once again. Big play there. That was Timothy Ho with a big kill.
And finally, for the first time, Centennial's been able to put some pressure on that back court of the Hawks. They're going to need a lot more of that. You mentioned, Andrew, coming out of this timeout. Centennial playing a lot better ball here.
Yeah, we've seen at the Hawks Nest for the visitors, it's so tough to come from behind. That first set is going to be crucial for the away team. Big play there, but that's out of bounds. And another point for Centennial, so they're only down by 6.
Yeah, I see Sadiku on that swing there, trying to contort his body into the right position, but when that arm came down, made some contact with the netting.
Timothy Ho back on the service line. So Ferrer got to that. Gomes will set it up. Fidari, and a big kill there.
Fidari all on his own out wide there. Jake Gomes setting that one back over his head. Fidari able to run up under it, and he's not going to make a mistake when he has that much time to think about things.
Andrew Blakey on the service line, the senior. His final game at the Hawks Nest. That one just misses the line and will be a point for Centennial on the service error.
And Blakey adds so much value to this team, obviously with his blocking and his offensive ability, but just as a fifth-year leader, he's been all-around Humber athletics, started his athletic career actually as a pitcher for the Humber Hawks baseball team. Luckily for Wayne Wilkins, he converted to volleyball, but one of those guys that just brings so much to the table athletically and as a person.
is so useful in that front line. Great kill there, Rizart Sadiku. Humber's back on top by 7.
Sadiku so good out wide, likes to target that middle of the floor. No mistake there.
Both these teams just kind of trading points now. Centennial needs to put a run together if they want to get back into this one. Jake Gomes with the serve. Man, a hot shot. Centennial having trouble controlling it. Just tossed over. Free ball here. Gomes will set it up. Nice backward pass to Fedari and a big kill.
Fedari there with another big swing, and going up for the block was Dekiwag, and he stands at just 5'8". I don't care how athletic, how talented you are, when Fedari's taken to the air, he needs some big bodies in front of him. And just personnel-wise, I don't think the Colts have much of an answer of what Fedari could do.
Fedari already with the game-high 3 kills. And a nice kill there. That's Reed for Centennial. And Marvin Reed will get a chance to serve.
There's going to be a lot on the shoulders of Marvin Reed in this game. He's really shown the ability to get one over on the Hawks, and not many of his teammates have.
Gomes sets it up, but Crowder puts it right in the net. 6-point game now. Marvin Reed back at the line. Leads his team with 122 kills and just over 2.2 kills per set. And that one just paints the line. A beautiful service ace there.
And this is what big-time players do. Your team is in a hostile environment, playing the #1 team in the country. And Marvin Reed keeping his side competitive.
Looked like Humber was going to run away with it early on, but Centennial staying in there. Set up there. Big play there again, just paints that line. Just a 4-point game now.
And that's what we're talking about. Brendan Chow there going up against the Humber block, and instead of trying to power it through, went for a more shallow cross-court winner and getting the job done.
Reed on a bit of a roll, got a little bit of luck there from the net. Big kill by Fedari, that'll put an end to that run.
Yeah, whenever Centennial gets on a run, little idea here, maybe give the ball to Fedari. He's been doing work so far today.
We'll pass that message on to head coach Wayne Wilkins. Get the ball to Fedari when you're in trouble.
I think he hears it loud and clear.
Sadiku, good serve. Centennial having a little bit of trouble controlling that. Reed will just toss it over. Gomes keeps it up. Kim sets it up for who else but Fedari, and another job there. Another point for Fedari.
Until Centennial could do anything with what Fedari's putting down, why not feed him on every possession? Seems to be the work. Obviously, you got an embarrassment of riches up there with Crowder and Ferreira. Any of them could score, but it's been Fedari's day.
Humber lead back up to 6. It's 18-12. And a service ace there from Fedari. Brendan Chow could not get a clean hand on that serve.
Sadiku so dynamite from the service line. You see the little English put on that one as he's attacking that near side line. Could go anywhere on the floor and with different velocities. We'll see if he throws that change up here.
Let's see what he brings here. A little bit of a slower one there. Chow going for the kill. Puts it right in the net.
And that's the issue these Colts are running into. They're having a hard time to have any type of attack that Humber at least isn't getting a hand on at the net.
Now 4-0 Humber run. Sadiku back on the line. Doing a nice job here. Puts that one right at the linesman. It was a hot shot as well.
We got an ice pack for the linesman there. That thing came in with a lot of heat behind it, able to shake it off.
Took like a champ as well.
Didn't hit his flag arm, so he should be all right.
Jordan NNABUOGOR back at the line. Soft serve there. Gomes will set it up. That's for Silva Ferreira. Good job there for the point.
And if Ferreira is just going to place the ball like that, you might as well sit back and watch. There's absolutely nothing you could do when he swings out wide there, bringing it near side.
Chris Bowen in the game now. He'll get a chance to serve. The first-year player from Georgetown, Ontario.
He's been the understudy of Jake Gomes in that setter position, and he's been absolutely phenomenal every chance he's had.
Set up there and point for Centennial. Nice job there by Timothy Ho.
They attacked Bowen's side right away and just a little bit out of Christopher's reach.
Down to a 7-point lead now. It's 21-14. Marlui Dekiwag Gomes setting it up. Silva Ferreira. Centennial scrambling. Chell just have to throw it over. Gomes setting up for Blakey. Big kill.
That just looks too easy for Blakey, making it look effortless. But give some credit with the Colts. I mean, if your first touch is off somebody's face, just getting it over is a pretty big accomplishment.
That's a fair point, Adam. Centennial certainly showing a lot of hustle and a lot of heart here this afternoon. Fidari's serve, another rocket thrown right back. Big chance here for Humber. Gomes setting up for Silva Ferreira. Off the block will land for another Humber point.
It's been Ferreira these last few points. On that far side, we see him go cross-court a couple times. That time, just ripping it right into the block, deflecting out of bounds. Nice play.
Humber just needing 2 points to take the first set. Would be absolutely huge, keeping Centennial off the board early on.
Looking for their 40th consecutive set victory.
They might have it. Set up there. Ho couldn't get it over. And Humber now just 1 point away from taking the first set.
Blakey with the Dikembe Mutombo finger wag. He's been doing a whole lot of that this season. Mentioned his 91 career blocks. 8th most in program history.
Big play there by Gomes, putting off the Centennial player, and that will do it for the first set. Humber taking it 25-14.
How about Gomes on that play with the closed fist, rearing back with that right arm and letting the swing go. Don't see that too often from him, but a smile on his face as he collects set point for the Hawks.
Yeah, Gomes brings a lot. Listed at 6'6". Listed as a center as well, as he just certainly does a great job of that, but also very useful on that block as well. Just around that net, his net presence is huge. And look at some of the highlights from that first set.
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking a whole lot about that Humber front court, but it's hard not to. I mean, they've been busy early and often today. See some nice ones by Fidari. Those are borderline untouchable.
Fidari certainly very impressive in that first set. 4 kills. That's a game high so far. Look at some of the work from Rezard Sadiku. A big service ace there.
It's been Sadiku and Fidari that's really led the way offensively for the Hawks all year. Ferreira has certainly chipped in a big way as of late, really all season long. Ferreira kind of moving into that role that we've seen his fellow countryman Rafael Hilario have last year as kind of that big outside hitter. You've seen him and Ferreira split time in that position last year, but it's been Ferreira's job all season long, and he's taken the opportunity and ran off with it.
Yeah, it looks great in that left side alongside Blakey and whoever else they want to throw in that middle. It's been a great combination, a dangerous combination for that front line, and really this Humber team, it almost seems interchangeable who you can throw in there and get success.
Yeah, we've seen time and time again just the different rotations, the different pieces that Wayne Wilkins has in his toolkit, and every single one of them has been dominant all season long. And I expect if we have more lopsided sets as we saw in set number 1, we will see some of those guys come off the bench, more the rotational pieces, but for Centennial, that doesn't mean you can really take your foot off the pedal or think things are going to get any easier. You're in tough no matter who in the white and blue is taking the floor.
Yeah, certainly after that first set, we're going to see some more of those depth pieces that are warming up on the court right now take the court. And should be continuing to go that way as long as Humber is in the lead. You don't want to risk injury for those stars, especially with the provincials coming up. And a chance for the nationals really this season. Humber with that perfect season, and last time that happened, they won the 2005 provincial championships, and they'll have a big chance here. They'll certainly be favorites for nationals, especially with that number 1 ranking that they have.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't go 18-0 on the season without a target on your back, and this isn't one of those years where you stroll into nationals and say, hey, we're happy to be here. Let's try our best and have some fun. Humber Hawks got to know that they got to take the chip home for this season to really be a success. 18-0 is great. Dropping 2 sets all season is great. But if you don't come home with some hardware, that's just kind of be a footnote in the Humber Hawks volleyball history. This team knows they have something special, and it's time to put in the work, put in the heart, and close the show on this 2019-2020 season.
Yeah, certainly. You look into this gym here, all those banners, no silver plate, no silver or bronze banners here. It's all gold. Gold or bust for the Humber Hawks.
Hey, we're Bannerville for a reason, baby. That's what we come here to do. And the Hawks are well on their way to bringing home another one to throw up in the rafters here at the Humber North Campus gym.
Humber Athletics really taken off in these last 10 years here. A lot of those banners coming in the last 10 years. 3 of those provincial championships for volleyball and that national championship all coming in that span as well. We're just about ready for the second set. Jake Gomes to get us started.
Yeah, a lot of that credit has to go to the Wilkins brothers. I mean, Chris has brought home 14 provincial titles on the women's side of things, and for the men's team, Wayne has 3 titles of his own.
Gomes serve underway, and an ace to get us started. Darren Benwick just couldn't get a clean hand on that one. That when he just saw that soar behind him.
The bench always has a good time when Jake Gomes is on the service line. You better get your service ace dance ready. There's a good chance there's going to be one coming.
Who needs cheerleaders when you got those guys?
Bunch of 6'8" cheerleaders.
Can't miss them. But Jake Gomes missed that serve, and we're all tied up at 1. JAVED BAKSH to get us started here. Trying to give Centennial their first lead of this match. But he puts that one right into the net.
This Hawks team is so good. They're going to get all the points they need by themselves. They really don't need you helping them out. So when it comes to service errors and those unforced errors on points, that's when you kind of need to tighten the screws a little bit if you have any chance against the Hawks.
Sadiku's serve. That's a good one. It's almost a play at the net. Set up here, Gomes. That's for Maximum Crowder, and he got maximum velocity on that one.
Wow, Maximum Crowder there darting towards the net. Thought maybe he was going to be a bit of a decoy, have a swing there as Silva Ferreira was behind him, but instead is Crowder taking the swing, and good golly, he got all of it.
I like how you brought up the decoy thing there, because sometimes that Humber front line, 3 guys will go up. That sends other teams into just a frenzy. You don't know who it's going to go to.
Yeah, pick your poison when it comes to these guys up at the net.
A point there for Humber. Too many touches for the Colts. We're not seeing too much of that Humber depth yet. Still the starters on the court. We'll see when Wayne Wilkins decides to throw it over to that bench.
Yeah, it's been light work here for the starters.
There's Sadiku's serve, and that one misses. 4-2 for Humber.
This is a big moment here for the Colts. At 4-1, this one was starting to set up a little bit like we saw in set number 1, and you don't want to get behind 8-1, 9-1 again.
There's Marvin REID, the best offensive player for the Colts, but missing that serve. Handing a point there to the Hawks. Maximum Crowder now at the service line. Puts it up, that's a good one. Play at the net. Got that through the block and out of bounds. That's going to be a point for the Colts.
Yeah, targeting, trying to go down the line there on the swing. A good idea as Fadari was a little bit inside of that antenna. Gave himself a little bit of room to play with.
Timothy Ho at the line. So looked pretty good here so far. Set up there for Blakey. Centennial just gets to that. It's going to be a free ball for Humber, though. Gomes will set that up. As for Silfera, the soft touch, Centennial just gets that one. Kim has it now. It's going to be a whistle blown and a point for Centennial.
Humber there having some happy feet along the net. Getting a charge with a violation. One of the better rallies we've seen is Centennial holding their own against the Hawks here in set 2.
It's a tight one to start the second set. Just a 1-point game. Gomes sets that up. That's for Silva Ferreira. Gets that through the block. Centennial scrambling. They just got that over. Gomes will set it up again. This time for Sadiku. And a good kill there. Got a nice friendly bounce from the net.
Yeah, not how Sadiku drew it up. I'm sure he would want to slam that one home to the floor, but friendly hop off that white tape. Drops in front of the dig attempt.
And as we know, all season long, once you put that ball at the top of the net, it's so hard to defend, especially since you're setting up from before. And a service violation there on Fadari.
Fadari has one of the most violent jump serves I've seen of anybody we've seen come through in the OCAA. A little too much on that one as he crossed the line.
Marlui DeKiwag The serve is good. That's controlled. Gomes will set that up for Silva Ferreira. A nice kill there.
Ferreira so smooth in the air. It seems as though he hasn't even picked his location until he's really hit the apex of his jump. Perfect placement on that one as he finds a seam in this Colts defense.
He'll get ready to serve now. Serve is up, that's good. Centennial having trouble controlling that one. Free ball here for Humber. Kim sets that up for Sadiku. Big block there, but they can't get to it. Another Humber point, back on top by 3.
That's all power by Sadiku. And Centennial's done a nice job in this set of limiting those unforced errors, but instead that problem has turned into a free ball problem where, hey, they're getting to it, they're getting that third touch. But if you give Humber an opportunity to get set up, they're going to score way more often than not.
Great kill attempt there. Just got that one in. Point for Centennial.
NNABUOGOR with a big swing there. They need a whole lot more than that. They hope to get back in this one, though they are within striking range. 8-6.
Brendan Chow on the line. Puts that one up. Kim gets to it. Gomes saying that for Fedari. Another big kill there for Josh Fedari.
And the Hawks doing nice work there to overload that left side. When that set was coming to Jake Gomes, you had Blakey and Sadiku on the left side. A lot of the defensive focus shifts over that way. Jake Gomes hits that trademark set behind his head, and there's Josh Fedari all alone with really no one to block.
Blakey serve, that's good. Reed kill attempt there, that completely misses. Another free point for Humber.
Yeah, and you can hear right off the hand, kind of had that hollow sound. Usually you hear that when maybe you only catch a thumb or a finger or two on the swing. Not the accuracy he was looking for.
Blakey's serve. Centennial's controlling it. Reed's attempt gets that through the block. Gomes will set it up. That's for Sadiku. Put that right at the libero for the point.
Give these Colts some credit when it comes to the attacks coming from the other side, and the Hawks, they've been in the right positioning. They've been where they had to be, just too much to handle.
Blakey's on a roll here at the line. Reed gets that one, puts it right over though. Gomes will set that up. Set up here for Sadiku. A little too soft on that one, didn't get the power he wanted.
Hawks seemed a little bit off on that point. Jake Gomes getting the first touch, and that kind of throws off the traditional second touch for Jake, and Eduardo Silva Ferreira went for that bump set there, and Sadiku just had trouble getting under it.
Centennial serve. Just paints that back line. Humber thought that was going out of bounds.
That's just great vision there by Ferreira. To my eye, that one was going to touch down right on the back line, but that's why he's one of the best of the biz, and I just got a microphone in front of my face. Good call there.
Gomes serve, that was a rocket. A service ace for Gomes.
Oh, check out the bench here, having a good time.
And a good timeout taken here by Centennial. They were starting to lose their roll here. Humber really getting on top of things, leading 13-7.
Yeah, good timing on this timeout. They're keeping pace, at least in the rearview mirror against the Hawks here, but after a nice little run and a service ace, time to slow things down and start taking it point by point.
And we'll see if the fatigue starts to set in here for Centennial. We knew that they only came in here with only 3 subs, so playing 6 of their 9 players on the court at all times. So they don't really have that depth that they're able to stick in there like Humber does.
And if you look at this highlight package here, the Colts are running all over the place. They've been having to scramble. They've been having to lay out for digs. That's going to take a lot out of the gas tank trying to run around with Humber dictating the pace of this game as they've had. So that's exactly right, Andrew. Conditioning could be a big factor, especially with just how hard Centennial has had to work for each and every point they've earned.
Yeah, it's really been the Achilles heel for Centennial all season. They got a lot of those digs, but that does tire you out there. It's cost them a lot of games. Centennial did win their last match, 3-2, 3 sets to 2 versus Fleming at home, but they have not won consecutive games all season. We'll see if they're able to change that here today.
Yeah, that's a tough go on the season. You kind of know what you're getting into when you head to the Hawks Nest for a playoff game. And give the Colts some credit. They're 8th in the OCAA in digs, but a lot of times, as you mentioned, those dig stats come when you're kind of scrambling, chasing the other team.
Jake Gomes serve. Another rocket. Big block there. Landing out of bounds. This is going to be a Centennial point.
Crowder so good at the net defensively. Pitches in quite a bit on the offense, but maybe as good as it gets on this Humber roster. I'll obviously throw Andrew Blakey's name in there, of course, but he's dominant on the net.
Centennial server there, hearing it from the Humber bench. Great job by Crowder to get all of that ball, putting it right into Timothy Ho for the point.
And this is exactly what you're talking about. One of the starters, Andrew Blakey, going to get a well-deserved rest, and you think, hey, maybe there's our opportunity, but in steps Maximum Crowder, and he's just as talented.
The second-year player, supreme talent here, has really blossomed into a key player for the Hawks. Reed's kill attempt right into the net, another Humber point.
That might be a case. So just hearing some footsteps there as Ferreira was charging over with speed, and Reed with that smack dab in the center of the net.
Sadiku getting ready to serve. He has a team, second on the team with 5 kills tonight. Set up here. Gets that on top of the block. It's deflected out of bounds. Another Centennial point. They're still hanging in there, but down by a lot.
Not a lot of daylight with 3 Hawks heading up to the air on the block attempt, but nice work there by the Colts just to find that alley, find that ray of light, and squeak it through.
Marvin Reed serve. Kim gets that one. Set up by Gomes. This for Ferreira. They pop that right back to the Humber side. Gomes set up again. This time for Sadiku. They keep that one alive, but there was a miscommunication there on the Centennial side. No one knew whose job it was to get to that ball.
And that's what that decoy does. You see Maximum Crowder with the swing. Sadiku came up and hit it from the backcourt. And for the Colts, that just gives you a second to rethink things, a second to shift your feet. And that's what it results in, a little miscommunication.
Yeah, too many bodies just caught looking at the ball. Someone's got to go for it. Set up here. Big play at the net. I believe that's going to be a net violation against, or a lift rather, against Humber.
Yeah, that's the lift if I've ever seen one. Andrew Blakey with quick reaction time there, but kind of had both palms open to the sky, throwing that ball up in the air. Easy call for the chair umpire.
That's a big no-no. Timothy Ho serve. Oh, wow, great one there. Still Ferreira had to dive for that one, but couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, nice looking serve off the hand of Ho. Seen right off the hand, seams of the ball. Spinning east to west, whole lot of English on that one as a touchdown in front of Ferreira.
Ho will go again. Sadiku got to that one. Gomes will set it up. As for Ferreira, nice job there. Not too much power, but still threw Centennial off.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Once again, for Ferreira, it's a game of accuracy. He's seen the block go up there and that power move. Yeah, you might deflect off the block, but most things important is that you're avoiding that block, and that's what he was able to do.
17-11 now for Humber in the second set. Fidari's serve. It's a rocket. Reed got to that, but just deflected right by the scorer's table. Humber on top by 7 points.
Yeah, it's not just a matter of fact of getting to a Joshua Fidari serve. You also got to corral it somehow.
Fidari again. Rockets that one right into the net.
I'm sure that's a sigh of relief for the team in black, having Fidari get off the service line.
Marlui DeKiwag getting ready to serve for Centennial.
And now we're starting to see Wayne Wilkins play with the lineup. Christopher Bowen and Xavier Reed into this game, giving some starters, Gomes and Fidari, a break.
Yeah, Bowen got a little bit of play time at the end of that first set. And a big kill there. That's Silva Ferreira.
Ferreira there says enough of this finesse game. I'm going to showcase the power. Does just that.
Serve is good. Set up. That attempt by Chow is blocked. And Andrew Blakey getting the credit for that one.
Blakey had perfect timing on that one. Had his buddy Xavier Reed with him. When you get your shoulders at the top of the net, good chance you're going to come down with a block.
Again, that one put into the block. It's going to be a Humber point.
And that's tough. Centennial really want to feed that side with Brendan Chow over there, a big hitter, but when you have Blakey and Reed both blocking that left side, maybe time to shift the focus a little bit.
So Ferreira's serve is good. Set up. That's blocked. They'll try it again.
Sorry, Andrew, I got a little
worries.
swing happy on that one. A ball coming over to the broadcast table. I want to show off my volleyball chops, and instead I just whacked the pen right out of your hands.
It's all good. I got my pen back. We're all ready to go.
Wow, I don't think Wayne's going to be recruiting me anytime soon.
Your tape got lost in the mail. That one partially blocked. Humber still getting to that, though. Bowen sets it up. That's Reed getting to that.
Wow. I'm always so impressed with Xavier Reed offensively when he's able to get into the game. He's just so efficient with his hitting. You just don't see him miss too often.
Stefan Manning serve, that's good. Point attempt there. Humber got to that. Set up for Sadiku. That one getting away from Centennial, and Humber is now just 1 point away from going up 2-0.
This one playing out similar to set number one. Centennial showed at times that they could hang, trade the points back and forth, but once again, just Humber running away late.
Here we go. Big serve. Set up there. A little miscommunication. Still got it over there. Kim sets it up. That's for Reed. That one just misses, and Centennial's still alive.
A little long on that one, but I like that they're feeding Reed, getting him some swings. He's one of those depth pieces that could really step up in a big way come playoff time.
Dominic Bauer. Kim gets to that. Bone will set it up. That's for Reed. That one just misses again.
But still, these are good looks. That last point went a little long. That one a little wide, but at least Reed is focused on where he's hitting on the floor.
Sadiku gets that one. Bone sets it up. That's for Blakey. And that will do it for the second set. Identical score to the first. Humber winning it again, 25-14.
And that's Blakey in motion like poetry, just sliding over to his right, rise into the air and smacking that one down. This Humber front court has really been the story of today's game, and as we'll see in this highlight package, they've been pretty busy. A lot of swings going on out there.
It's been the story of the evening. It's been the story of the season, really, this Humber front line. Been able to get some key performances out of Crowder, Blakey, Sofrera, Sadiku, Fadari, and even Jake Gomes sneaking in there a little bit, playing a big role in that front line, getting a lot of those blocks.
And for the Colts, they certainly had their moments, had some nice swings by Chow, Reed, and others, but just hasn't been enough. Give them some credit. There's not too many teams that come in here and pick up 14 points in a set, never mind back-to-back. So obviously not the results, not the W you want when it comes to finishing a set, but they're putting up a good fight here in a game where a lot of people thought wouldn't be much of a contest.
Yeah, Centennial looking pretty good so far despite that depleted roster. Not depleted, but just undermanned roster, I guess you could say. Just 9 players dressed for this one today. Humbers have got all their players ready to go today, just in case. And in that third set, I expect to see more of that depth, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, now's probably the time for Wayne Wilkins. You've really seen everything you need out of your starters, and even those next in line guys, time now maybe even to dip a little bit deeper into that talent pool and just make sure everybody's getting their reps in, everybody's working on that conditioning, getting some game time in, because when it comes to playoff time, you never know. Obviously, you don't want to even talk about injuries, but there's certainly a possibility as this season wears on. So you got to make sure as a head coach that every single player on your roster is ready to go come game day.
It appears that's going to be a lot of the same starters getting in there to at least start this third set as they're taking a break right now, getting some words from Wayne Wilkins. He's talking over strategy and just what's gone right, what's gone wrong so far in this game. Not too much going wrong, just a few of those unforced errors we've seen, but that's really it.
Yeah, of course, you can certainly clean sum things up. And I think a matter of it comes down to when you're in a little bit of a spread like this and you have the lead that you do, you don't always want that technical point. You may want to throw a little flare, a little flash on there and have some big kills. So it may be the over-eagerness of the Hawks that have maybe walked themselves into an unforced error here and there, but all in all, tough to complain when you pick up 2 set wins by a combined 20 points.
We're just about ready to get things started here for the third and potentially final set. We're looking to close things out here. Have not dropped a set in about 4 months. It's been a crazy one.
That last
3 months,
one
rather.
Makes it 41 sets in a row.
It's absolutely insane. One of the best Humber teams of all time, maybe the best all time. Of course, you don't really get that title unless you win it all.
That's the thing. This team will be remembered no matter what after this historic regular season that they've had, but they'll be remembered forever in this building if they're able to come home with that national championship.
Humber, of course, would not have anything against another banner being hung here in the rafters to go along with that 2012 national championship.
Yeah, we're a little short on space right here at the Hawks Nest, but hey, we can always find room for one more.
I could squeeze them in a little bit. I'm sure no one would mind. And we're off for the third set. Play at the net. Nice play there by Timothy Ho, just getting on top of that one. For the first time, Centennial's on top.
There you go, got yourself a lead, now run with it. Good luck. Yeah, the firepower on the other side of the net.
It's what the start they wanted maybe 2 sets ago, but they finally get it here. And there's the Jake Gomes special. Getting all of that one, just smashing it down the other side.
Jake Gomes knows exactly what he's doing. You see there, he threw it down over and 2. Didn't even look where that ball went. Just turned around, went right back to the service line. No big deal. I've done it before.
Trying and failing to keep that ear-to-ear smile off his face after that one. Big serve there. It's another part of his game that he's known for. REID getting to that one, but into the block. That's blocked out of bounds. Centennial's back on top.
How about Colin Skanes? First action he's seen all day, and his first block attempt is timed perfectly, getting both hands on that one. That's textbook.
Humber's got a mix of their starters and bench players on the court to start off this set. Josh Fedari, a big smash there to tie it up at 2.
What do you do when Fedari takes to the air? I've been trying to decide it all season, especially with the ability and the velocity and the slope that he comes down on the ball. Just so hard to defend.
Skane's serve, that's put right over, but out of bounds. Humber's on top for the first time in the third set. It's 3-2.
It's a Fawn Manning with the ace there, and he's a guy that has seen limited playing action so far this season, but when he has come in, it's been in these service scenarios. Wayne Wilkins knows what he has from the line with this talented Stephon Manning.
Fedari wasting no time there, went off one of the Centennial players' feet and out of bounds. It's 4-2 now for Humber. That'll send Skanes back to the, or rather Manning back to the line.
And if you're the Colts, this game's still tight. You got to get Manning off that service line right now.
Easier said than done. They'll set it up here. Play at the net. Nice job there by Bauer to get that off the block and deflect it out.
You're going to need a whole lot of speed behind that one if you want to beat Fedari and Skanes, but that's exactly what it had. Able to blow back the left hand of Colin and find its way to the floor.
It's Timothy Ho at the line. It's a good-looking serve, but just a little too much power in that one. Handing Humber another point. They're back on top by 2. It's 5-3.
It's now or never for the Colts. If they find themselves good up these next few points, they might as well start packing their bags.
There's Skanes. Set up here. Big play, but a bigger block.
Who else? Andrew Blakey doing what he does best.
Skanes back on the service line. Kept alive. BAKSH will set that up. NNABUOGOR, good kill there.
Now the Colts are rolling just a little bit, able to beat this Humber front court on the blocks a couple times now so far in this set. Nonetheless, that's just some momentum that you could start to build off of.
The Centennial serve. Gomes will set it up for Fedari. That one just missed. But a great attempt there by Josh Fedari.
This line judge tenses every muscle in his body when Fedari takes to the air, and who could blame him? I think he's already been pegged twice. Fedari has no time for those floaters today. He's coming hard and heavy.
That one just floated over the entire court. But to Kewog, hanging Humber another point. Back on top by 2, it's 7-5. Fedari serve. A rocket, that cross-court one out of bounds, though.
Going for the emphatic service ace there, but a little too much mustard on it.
Dominic Bauer will have a chance here. Just got that over the net. Gomes will set up. That's for Blakey. Nice job there by Blakey for the point.
And again, when they get Blakey in motion like that, running to his right, he's so hard to defend. The right-hander going up and smacking it down the opposite way across his body.
Silva Ferreira serve, that's good. BAKSH will set that up. That's for REID. That's blocked. Goes right back to the Centennial side. They'll try it again. REID once again. Humber just got to that. Centennial's going to try and throw it over again. REID got that over. Silva Ferreira gets it. Gomes sets it up for Fedari. And a great kill there.
Maybe the best rally we've seen in today's contest. Centennial hanging tight there on that point, but who else but Josh Fedari going to put things away.
He's having a great game so far. Game high 9 kills. Soft serve by Silva Ferreira. BAKSH sets it up for REID. Right into the block. And a great heads-up play there by Andrew Blakey, just tossing that one back where no one was around.
Best offense is a good defense, and Andrew Blakey showing it off right there, getting the block, realizing where that ricocheted and coming down, tapping it over for another Humber point. As they're starting to pull away here.
Yeah, Humber getting on a bit of a run. Centennial was right there, but starting to lose things a little bit here. Silva Ferreira gets that. Gomes will set up for Blakey. Centennial had no chance on that one. It's now a 5-point lead for Humber. That's the most in this set.
Gomes kept that set really tight to the net, and with the speed that Andrew Blakey could take to the air, that gives you almost no reaction time, especially with a big hitter like Blakey.
They get to that serve. BAKSH will set it up. That attempt by NNABUOGOR goes out of bounds. Just floated that over.
And for the Colts, you got to start to feel this set slowly slipping away from your fingertips here.
Yeah, lead up to 6 points now. After a great start by Centennial, they're up 2-1 to get things started. BAKSH puts that up. Toss it back. It's going to be a free play here. Gomes will set that up for BAKSH. Just catching the line. Another great play by Fedari.
Fedari rising up there and going off the block, just hitting the fingertips as it sails long. And right on cue, similar timing for head coach Adrian Bento as he's calling a timeout as this third set starts to get away.
Yeah, another veteran move there, calling a timeout at this point. Humber's lead extended to 7. It looked like they were starting to run away with things here. And Fedari at game high 10 kills. He's been outstanding here so far.
He's been borderline untouchable. Stefan Manning and his serviceability obviously has paid dividends in that third set. And again, just the blocking in front court of these Hawks have been too much. Fedari just been so good. You see him rear back, come into that ball with some momentum, and not much you could do if you're to Kewog on that one.
Yeah, Kewog just tried to get his hands up on that one, but really had no shot. Another great kill there. The buzzer goes, and we're just about ready to get things back underway in the third set. Potentially the final set we see of volleyball here for the 2019-2020 season at the Hawks Nest.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it was so much fun to watch this team last year, and we were lucky enough to host the OCAA Provincials. Seeing this team go all the way to that 5-set thriller that they dropped against the Fanshawe Falcons, and It's been such a joy watching them all year long. I know me and you, Andrew, we've been so lucky to be courtside for a lot of this action, and this team is certainly going to do some damage if and when they're able to move on to that OCAA Final 8 tournament.
Yeah, I think I speak for the both of us when I say it's been an honor and a privilege just to call this team. Just so much fun watching this team play week to week.
And it's not too often you see an undefeated team with a chip on their shoulder, but that's exactly what these Hawks have. I've talked to Andrew Blakey earlier in the year. He says a lot of these guys still have a sour taste in their mouth from that big final against Fanshawe, one of the best games I've ever seen here in the Hawks Nest. And he says that's still on our minds. We think about that. We want to get that win back, and here's our opportunity.
When you come out with 2 straight silver medals and just fall short of gold, especially in last year's fashion when it was that 5-set thriller, you're losing that 15th point. It's tough. You want to come back. Set up here by Centennial. Reed's play just into the block. Gomes will set that up. Good kill there by Stephon Manning.
Nice work by Stephon Manning, taking advantage of this playing time. Had just 31 kills in the regular season, but has contributed offensively today.
Andrew Blakey back on the line. Reed gets that one, just pops it back. Gomes will set it up. That's for Fedari. We got to that one. Reed again, but right into the top of the net. Oh, it's going to be a violation.
Colin Skanes right away looked up at the chair umpire. He knew something was up on that play.
Colts pulled back within 7. It's 15-8.
But we're seeing more and more now the Colts just forcing the ball to Reed, and that might be the move here. It's your best offensive player. You're in a tough spot. If anyone's going to get you out of the hole, why not rely on your top dog?
Yeah, it's got to be him. Stephon Manning, nice little heads-up play. They just got to that. Reed again, flips it over. Gomes will set it up. Who's it for? That's for Manning. A great job there to get that through the block and get that down for the point.
Manning putting in work. Like to see it. If anything, this is just an audition for your coach, Wayne Wilkins, to say, hey, if you ever need somebody coming in on the rotation when it comes playoff time, look what I could do.
As a first-year player, Stephon Manning, for sure, it's almost guaranteed he's going to get some added playing time next year, with, especially with Blakey as a senior stepping out.
Well deserved.
Great cross-court play there, but just out of bounds. 16-9 now the score for Humber. Reed will get a chance to serve. Bunch of substitutions going on here. Centennial trying to claw their way back into this game. Got a long way to go. Misplay there by Josh Ikenyawu.
And we talked about digging deeper into that depth, and Josh Ikenyawu is one of those guys. I believe, I can't remember exactly the game, may have been Niagara. There was a little bit of a blowout, and Ikenyawu came into the game, and I think he finished with double-digit kills. As you see one there, he's one of those guys that can get the job done in a big way offensively, and he's just, don't see him too much. There's so much talent on this Humber bench that you could almost forget about, and Ikenyawu is a big part of that.
Yeah, another one of those first-year players that's kind of buried beneath a lot of the talent here, but he's one of those guys that's sure to get a lot more playing time next season. Reed goes back to get that one. It's going to be a free ball here for Humber. Bowen sets that up. Ikenyawu. That one out of bounds. Another point for Humber. 18-10.
And if there was ever a time for Centennial to make a run, now is it, with most of the players on the floor for the Hawks being rotational pieces.
Stephon Manning, a nice hot serve. BAKSH will set that up. And a great job there. That's Brendan Chow with the kill.
And for Chow and the Colts, 1 point at a time has to be the mantra. Still have yourself a big hole here.
Timothy Ho to serve. Serve is up. That's good. Controlled by Humber. Bowen sets it up for Silva Ferreira. Partially blocked, but that's going to be a net violation against Humber.
Yeah, Ferreira had something against the net on that one. He came in absolutely flying. So much momentum. He ran himself into the pole there, causing the violation. but you got to appreciate the tenacity.
Timothy Ho with another chance at serve here. Controlled by Humber. Bone will set that up. That's for Skanes. Big block. Play at the net. BAKSH will set up once again for Chow. Bone will set it up for Skanes. Centennial scrambling a bit here. Humber's got it. Let's have to toss it back. Nice rally here. That one just missed. A great heads-up play there by Manning to get out of the way of that one.
Stephon Manning doing everything in his power to dodge out of the way of that one, pulling the old Neo and Matrix.
Substitution here for Humber. Just Kalsi getting his first action.
Kalsi, so much fun to watch. Always has a good time with his teammates. Popular guy on the squad. And you don't need to tell me this, but he brings a lot of size to that net.
Man, does he ever, standing at 6'10". Tallest man on the court here. Bowen sets that up. Kinyanwu can't get that over. It's going to be a point for Centennial.
Nice athleticism shown there by Iki Nyanwu, getting to that ball and getting a good swing on it, but Colts up to the task there.
Chow with a chance to serve. He's been pretty good here this evening. Just kept alive there by Centennial, but they can't get it over. Kalsi with the point.
And you hear the little pop from the crowd as Kalsi gets that point. Definitely a fan favorite.
Ikinyanwu with a chance to serve here. 5 points away from taking this one. BAKSH sets that up. Humber's got it. Bowen, Silva Ferreira, just in bounds.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. For Ferreira, that's ridiculous. Just going up there, noticing a little bit of space in that Centennial back corner, and just the running floater tosses it up and over everybody.
Yeah, tiny bit of space was all he needed. That one getting right through the libero. It's 22-13 now, just 3 points away from Humber. 3 points away from going into that Final 8 tournament.
Iki Nyanwu trying to get himself on a nice little run here. Chance to close the show.
Libero got to that, BAKSH sets it up. Right into the block. A great play there by NNABUOGOR.
That one deflected off Kalsi, deflected off Ferreira. Chris Bowen just a little late on the reaction time there. That's a fortunate bounce for the Colts.
Dominic Bauer. His serve misses, now just 3 points away for Humber.
And again, that's a good call by Stephon Manning. Throwing that shoulder back, letting that one sail on through.
Silva Ferreira. They serve right into the net. $15 points is the most that Centennial's gotten in a set. Might be a case of too little, too late here.
This Centennial team has put up one of the better fights we've seen in the Hawks Nest. No one has been able to solve the riddle that is the Humber Hawks, but Centennial's come out and played hard.
Play at the net. Bone got to that one. REID will just toss it back. Too much on that one. Now Humber's going to have a chance to close things out here for their spot in the Final 8 for the OCAA.
1 point away from heading to Fleming College, February 27th to 29th, that Final 8 tournament. Seems to have Humber's name written all over it.
That one landing in and booked the bus to Peterborough. Humber is going to the Final 8 in the OCAA for their chance at for the provincial championship in what could be their best season ever.
This year is shaping up to be something special. You look up and down this roster, so much talent, so much dedication. This team has a chance to put themselves down in the Humber history books.
They certainly have a chance to do so as they applaud the crowd here. Great Humber crowd that supported them all season long. It's been a great season. It should surely be a great postseason here. And Adam, I know there's a lot of great performances here, but who do you give the player of the game to?
Oh, that's tough. You go up and down. Andrew Blakey has been phenomenal. I feel like Joshua Fedari is in the conversation every single week. You really can't make a wrong pick when it comes to your player of the game. Even some of the rotational guys maybe did enough to earn that honor, but up and down this roster, the Hawks are going to bring a whole lot of momentum into Fleming College for that Final 8 tournament. And I got to say, Andrew, it's a little bit of a bummer that this is the last time we'll see them this year on their home court.
They will be back next year, though, hopefully with those gold medals around their neck, both provincially and nationally, as we got to look at Humber Hawks celebrating that big win. Came into the OCAA Final 8 tournament. Be a nice, could be potentially a great cherry on top to what's been a great season here. Humber's just been steamrolling opponents all year long. It's been such a fun team to watch from top to bottom. No matter who's on the court, they've just been getting wins, and they look like a tight-knit group. They're certainly loving it right here, right now.
Dropping just 2 sets all year. This is a team that has all the confidence in the world, and certainly they've earned it. But you got to think, when you look at the entire provincial level, you go up to the entire national level, there's a team out there that could certainly be their match. And it's going to be interesting to see when a team that really hasn't had much adversity at all season long finally meets a team of their caliber. How will this team respond? And that's really going to dictate their entire season.
Should be a great playoffs, and that will do it for us here today. Myself, Andrew Milani, my broadcasting partner, Adam Lucier, and the rest of us here at the Hawk Sports Network. Thank you, and catch us next time.